Hello again, this is Dave from Projex Academy. Welcome to our brand new PRINCE2 7th edition Masterclass. And this is a brief introduction to Module 8, which covers one of the 7 new practices called the risk practice. So let's look at the syllabus to start with. Starting with the foundation exam, learning outcomes. You'll need to be able to explain the purpose of the risk practice and the key relationships between the risk practice and the 7 PRINCE2 principles. You'll need to understand the PRINCE2 risk practice and how this is applied throughout the project lifecycle. You'll need to explain the purpose of the key management products required to support the risk practice. And here within the PID is one of the 9 approaches, the risk management approach, and the project log, which contains, amongst other logs and registers, the risk register. You'll need to be able to define key concepts related to the risk practice, and this includes the definition of a risk and whether it's a negative threat or a positive opportunity based on its uncertainty. You need to understand what we mean by the risk appetite, the risk tolerance, along with the risk cause, the risk event, and the risk effect itself. Continuing, you need to be able to define what we mean by risk exposure, by the risk owner and the risk action owner, risk probability, and risk impact. Be able to describe the PRINCE2 technique used for the risk practice. Continuing, looking at the foundation exam, you'll need to be able to describe the guidance for effective management of risk with regards to risk planning, risk analysis, risk control, and risk culture. In addition, to understand what's known as decision bias, how to recommend the appropriate risk responses and what those types are, and the use of data. Coming to the practitioner exam, you'll need to be able to apply the PRINCE2 risk practice while demonstrating a clear understanding of A, the key management products required to support the risk practice. And yes, it's our risk management approach contained within the PID and the project log, which contains the risk register itself. You'll need to be able to demonstrate an understanding of the areas of focus for the key roles associated within the risk practice and understand how you carry out effective risk management and the associated techniques. You'll need to be able to analyze whether an approach to applying the risk practice is effective and fit for purpose, while taking into consideration the PRINCE2 7 principles and the effective management and associated techniques concerned with the practice itself, and tailoring the risk practice to the project's environment and context. So by the end of this module, here's what you'll learn. Quite a lot. You'll understand the risk practice purpose, what the differences are between threats and opportunities. You'll learn all about risk management guidance, along with concepts and definitions. You'll learn how to perform risk planning, risk analysis, and understand the different threat responses. In addition to that, you'll need to understand the various opportunity responses, along with the roles for the management of risk and something called risk culture and bias. You'll need to be able to identify risks in the first place, perform risk planning, being able to implement the actions, and communicate clearly about the risk situation. You'll learn several risk techniques, and these include cause and effect, something called PESTLE and SWOT analysis, the use of risk prompt lists, and the risk breakdown structure. Also a technique called pre-mortem. Yes, you're right, it's the opposite of post-mortem. And something called the Swiss cheese model. And you'll be able to learn how to use data as a risk technique. You'll learn both risk organizational context and risk commercial context. We'll look at the various risk delivery methods, as well as the application to sustainability and risk. Next up, you will learn how to apply the risk practice to the 7 PRINCE2 principles and the document that's within the PID, the risk management approach. We'll see how this relates to the risk register and its purpose, and finishing up by looking at the various roles concerned within managing the risk practice itself. So on behalf of me, Dave, from Projex Academy, I look forward to you joining me in our brand new PRINCE2 7th edition Masterclass. So until then, from me, Dave, it's bye for now.